We're going to be pretending to be John Smith with an appointment tomorrow, October 20, 10 p.m. for a dental cleaning service and nothing else here. On the Google Calendar, there's a event for 10 p.m. dental cleaning John Smith. And we're going to try and reschedule using our voice agent with MCP capabilities starting now.
This is a friendly reminder about your dental cleaning appointment tomorrow at 10 p.m. Can you confirm you'll be able to make it?
Oh, sorry, I cannot.
No worries. Would you like to reschedule or cancel?
Can we reschedule to something earlier?
Sure. When earlier would work best for you?
Can we do 6 p.m.?
Great. I've got 6 p.m. open or 6:30 p.m. if you prefer. Which one works?
Yeah, let's stick with 6 p.m.
Got it. 6:30 p.m. works. I'll move you to 6:30 p.m. tomorrow.
Sure. I said 6 p.m.
Thanks for catching that. Sorry about the mix-up. You want 6 p.m. tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I'll move it to 6 p.m. now.
Yes.
All set. I moved your appointment to 6 p.m. tomorrow. See you then.
Let's go. So as we can see, the appointment time is now 6 p.m. And then the Google Calendar event is also 6 p.m. And then our status is confirmed. Last call is just now. Call result confirmed. And then a couple of notes. So I'm going to show you in this video how we were able to build this, add Google Sheet and Google Calendar capabilities for our Retell AI agent. Things that I have improved since the last couple of videos. I swear, it just gets better and better. So grab your popcorns and let's start automating. So this is the Retell AI agent configuration. And there's a couple of things that I have learned during my experimentation. Number one, we were using GPT-5 Nano, which is indeed cheaper, although it wasn't able to like handle more stuff. And that's why I recently moved over to 5 mini. And like if you really want it to be close to just perfect, you're gonna go to something like GPT-5. Next, I've also improved a lot of the prompting. What I did was, aside from adding the identity, business context, customer information, we also added conversation style, which was a bit more detailed than previously. And then what you can do so that the agent knows the capabilities that it has. So it can confirm if they'll be there, reschedule, cancel, and answer basic questions. And then this is important, all right? Because handling reschedules isn't that simple. It has to like call Google Calendar, Google Sheets, checking if there's available slots. It's not as simple as, check my Google Calendar and just tell the user this. Because before, when I was just optimizing it, it would sound robotic. It would mention like Google Sheet, Google Calendar. Why would the user want to know that, right? And then there's different time zones. I had to specifically, all right, say that we are in Asia Manila time zone because there is no way in order to configure your voice AI in retail to be in a specific time zone. I think by default it uses UTC or American time zone. So yeah, we do have like a specific segment for that one. And then special scenarios like wrong number, ready to end, can't answer a question. Finally, just a couple of notes and just examples. So this is what was missing before. Remember when we wanted to reschedule to 6 p.m., it followed this specific pattern, right? Instead of, I've got 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, and just say every single time frame there is available. It just asks the user, what do you want? And then it's suggesting another one if, just in case that they want to. So 3 p.m. is open, or I also have blank. Which do you prefer? So that's how we were able to make it really just sound casual. Next, as you can see here at the bottom part, we also added a pause because I was continuously just missing out on the very first parts of the call. So I needed to add a couple of delay. Specifically, 5 seconds is the highest, so I just went with the 5 seconds. Sorry, because of the call forwarding from the US phone number to our Philippine phone number, there's a bit of delay and latency there, and that's why I just wanted to add this. Next, after that, we also added the MCP. And this is the only thing that was changed actually here. And before like I discuss this, let's actually go to our NRN first. Let me just expand this. There we go. So before we had this. And recently, this is the only addition to this workflow. We just added an MCP server trigger and we didn't configure anything here. Hold on. There we go. So we didn't configure anything here. We just got the production URL and then we copied it over to Retell. So if we click on add MCP, we're going to copy it here and then enter the name of the MCP. Maybe, you can make it a little bit more detailed, descriptive of what the MCP should do. Like for example, Google Sheet MCP, Google Calendar MCP. You could have different MCPs for different use cases. But I stick with just having one MCP that handles both Google Calendar and Google Sheet. So if we look at this one, it has Google Calendar actions and Google Sheet actions. And what I found to be like just what I need is getting an event. Actually, it should like first go and get many events. Sometimes it's supposed to get all the events, and then it should return all the events. And that's how we're able to like pinpoint which event from here should we update or delete or whatever, modify. So after that, it's just another Google Calendar event, which is update an event in Google Calendar. And this is like the important part here, right? The way that we're able to make this a simple setup is we didn't hard code anything here. We clicked on this button in these different fields so that we're going to let the AI determine for itself these values. We don't need to determine them before anything. We're going to let the AI think on itself. So we ask the AI to determine if it's going to turn on, what the after and before filters should it put to get specific event. Like for example, it can get any event that is before today and tomorrow. Then it's going to return all the Google Calendar events on those specific dates. Next, after getting those specific dates, we can use the event ID, which the AI will also like determine. So again, we don't need to think for any of this. Finally, for updating, I just made sure that our MCP has capabilities to update the description, the end date or end time and start time, and then finally the summary. So in Google Calendar, summary is also equal to the title. And then, you could definitely add more fields like who are going to be the attendees, color, location, and so much more, right? So I turned these off for now because I don't really have like any use cases for it. I don't want it to be creating new schedules if in case it doesn't find the other one. It's just probably gonna get more messy than it is. And then also delete. I don't want it to be automatically, deleting any Google Calendar event. So finally, like the last two events on our server MCP trigger is the get rows. So I want it to be able to get specific rows or maybe just get all of the rows in the Google Sheet, appointments, and just be able to update. And I told it to match it with the appointment ID, appointment, and then be able to update the appointment date, appointment time, just for the reschedule, feature. In terms of like the MCP configuration here in Retell, it's actually super simple. Once you open this up, just click on Add MCP, enter the name of the MCP. I just put Google Calendar and Google Sheet MCP, and then you're going to enter the URL that you have here. So just copy the production URL, go back to Retell, paste that here, and then you should be good to go. But that's not the end. Once you add it, you're supposed to add tools, and it will automatically be able to know what are the tools that you configured here. So as we can see, I have 5 tools connected to the MCP server trigger, and there are 5 tools here. And I just added them all one by one. Make sure to check this and this one as well. And click save. Did that for all of them. So as we can see, right, there we go. And then just so I know you're set up for this one, this is just how you're supposed to add an MCP. Just search for MCP server trigger. And you can now add tools such as calendar, and you can select the operation, either create, delete, get, and then for example, we're going to update. You're just gonna select the calendar, and this is what I'm talking about. It's gonna be blank, but we don't need to hard code any of this stuff. We're gonna let the AI fill this value for us. There's a bunch of ones here, like for example, some summary. This is important. The title and the description, start and end. So that's how we configured the Google Calendar and Google Sheet tools here. But if you want this specific template, I can give it to you. Just comment MCP and I'll send it over. Back to the main video. Now, speaking of like appointment ID, I actually made a couple of tweaks since the last setup. Before, I would have this specific formula to automatically generate me this one. Although I was encountering issues, and what I did was I just put here the plain old event ID. So it's able to pinpoint what the ID of this event is in the Google Calendar. So it knows that if we go to JSB, it's gonna pinpoint to this specific event. It just makes a lot of things easier. Hey there, it's Future Matt. While editing this video, I think I forgot where I specifically got this. And for anyone who is new to Google Calendar and then nodes, so this isn't easily fetched anywhere on this page. Like for example, when you double click this, there's nothing here that says, this one or that one, right? And the way that you're going to be able to get this specific IDs, so I actually created this sample workflow wherein it's gonna get all the events on my calendar. So as you can see, there's an ID here. And let's see this one. Matt X Maria Garcia. Let's copy this one. And when we go here, Matt X Maria Garcia here. So it's okay, J2. We cross check it. There we go. So that's how we got the appointment ID. It's a unique ID for each event in the Google Calendar, although it's not that easy to get it. But you can imagine when you're going to add a new row in this Google Sheet, you're automatically going to map this and add that. So a good practice here would be, for example, once you create an event, right, it's gonna give you the ID after this. And once you get the ID, that's when you try and add a new row. I hope you got that. Pretty straightforward. We're just basically storing the event ID under the appointment ID column so that we don't need to fetch it manually. It's all in our Google Sheet already. And after that, it's actually good. Like after that, it's now able to start rescheduling properly, being able to end the call properly, and the other like features such as being able to update the status, call result, everything is now working as it should. And you know what? Let's actually test one more time. But this time, let's say wrong number since we didn't get that in the previous video. So we're going to delete these and say pending so that this is going to get triggered again when we run this workflow. So it's going to call us again. And let's try to say wrong number. I hope this works. Third time's the charm. Actually, it's not third, but
Hi, John Smith. This is a friendly reminder about your dental cleaning appointment tomorrow at 6 p.m. Can you confirm you'll be able to make it?
oh, I actually think you have the wrong number. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Sorry about that. I'll end the call. Take care.
Boom, let's go. So we finally got it correctly. Before we were having problems, but now, as you can see, it's able to determine that it is a wrong number. Caller stated wrong number, no appointment details confirmed, and boom. So it's that easy. Although maybe we could have, when we say it's a wrong number, maybe we could have deleted this since this appointment should not be valid anymore. But yeah, it's gonna be up to us moving forward. I think I'm done with appointment reminder, this appointment reminder system. I think I'm gonna move on to other projects. But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed these series of videos. It was really fun, and yeah,